Hello guys, and welcome to episode number 88 of my European Journeyman Save, where we're on the epic quest of winning every top flight division in the European nations in the game. Currently in nation number 10, which is Hungary. We are the manager of MTK Budapest. It's our first season here in Hungary. It's gone very, very well. We'll have a look over, obviously, what's happened since you were last with us. We'll have a look at the league table. But before we do any of that, we're going to have a quick look at some of the transfers. I brought two in. One of them was sort of forced. There's been a couple go out. One who I wasn't overly keen on going out, which was the goalkeeper, Jagadix. Now, Ferencváros came in for him. He's done amazingly well in goal for us this season. 20 appearances, 11 conceded and 10 clean sheets. I kept rejecting the bid, kept rejecting it. It came into $1 million with a potential cost of 1.2 million. The board sold him underneath me, but really the initial one was 800k that the board sold him from underneath me with, and I protested it. They then came back with $1 million, and I didn't have the opportunity to protest it. So Jagadix has gone. A couple of other fringe players have gone as well. In terms of ins, we've brought in two. We've brought in Daniel Morrow, who is an inverted winger on the left-hand side, although his right foot is not the greatest. I was meant to start developing his weaker foot when he came in. In terms of his squad comparison, he does actually show as being better than Szczanski. However, Szczanski has got a better right foot, so it's touch and go between them, which one is actually better. And then goalkeeper-wise, we have brought in Mikkel Emil Furaha. He is a Norwegian 33-year-old. He was pretty much, sort of last chance saloon at getting a goalkeeper in. Compared to Jagadix, he's not too bad. His physicals are starting to go a bit with his age. Jagadix himself, though, is 30 years old, but his distribution's good, a little bit more eccentric than I would like. Communication's good, shot stopping's on a par. But Furaha has actually gone into the Media Dream 11 as the best goalkeeper in the league, believe it or not, so it might not have been too bad. In terms of how things have gone, though, you were here for the fantastic 3-0 win over Ferencváros. We then followed that up with a little bit of downturn of form. It was a 1-1 draw with Budapest. It's a goal which we conceded in the 92nd minute after dominating the game, really. Szczanski with the goal for us midway through the first half before Nedev did equalise for Budapest in the 92nd minute. We followed that up, though, with a defeat, believe it or not, to a team in the relegation zone in ZTE, a team who we thumped earlier in the season. We beat them 3-0. It was a disappointing 1-0 defeat, despite the fact that we dominated the game again. They had one shot on target, and it went in. Not great. So that was our first and only defeat as the manager of MTK Budapest. We followed that up with another team in the relegation zone, though, in Guillemot. That result moved ZTE out, replaced them with Guillemot, and it was a 1-1 draw. Another goal that we conceded late on. Adrelyi did put us ahead in the 26th minute through a penalty. Guillemot had one shot on target and it went in. Same as ZTE. Another game in which we've absolutely dominated and we've not got the result. No wins in 3 games. Taken 2 points from a possible 9. Brought the other 2 back towards us. Thankfully, we did return to a bit of form. First of all, against Diosgyőr. A 3-1 win here. Adrelyi and Kolber with the goals in this one. Fridrikas with the goal for Diosgyőr. Another game in which we were very, very comfortable in, and this time we did actually manage to find the back of the net, and it was quite comfortable. We then had our winter break, some fantastic results in the friendlies, but we've come back to league action against Meszek VZ and picked up a 2-0 win away from home here with both the goals in the first half, and Adrelyi and Kolber with the goals. Another one that, if you can see the XG match story here, we've absolutely battered them because Szczanski didn't have the greatest of games, but everybody else was fantastic. Toth picked up 2 assists. The goalkeeper even in the greens, obviously facing 3 shots. None of them have gone in. So fantastic there. Followed that up with a game against Vasas. They were 4th in the table when we took them on. We did go behind to an Aluku goal, but Adrelyi with the double in the second half gave us the win. A fairly even game, if we're being honest. This XG here, it was obviously a tap-in for Adrelyi to get his first of the game, which has sort of inflated the XG a bit. But we did, if you look at their XG, we did shut them out pretty much in the second half. We had a much better first half. I believe I shouted at the boys at half time after a disappointing first half. We did drop points again, though, to Szeged, a 0-0 draw. I don't know how we've drawn 0-0. I don't know how we've not scored, but XG-wise, they weren't in the game at all. They had one shot with a 0.02 XG. We should have at least scored one, looking at the XG, but defensively, Roda was good. We just didn't do it going forward. But we thankfully did get a win next game against Honved in the league. 3-1 this one, away from home. And Drili with the penalty, Morrow and Adebayo with the goals in this one. Very, very good going forward. We did concede one on the stroke half time, though, to Gazzola. But again, it's another one of those games in which we were much, much better. We've then had a cup game against Pax, a 1-0 win here in the fifth round to put us into the quarter-final against a team who are in a lower league. So every chance we're going to make the semi-final there. Where that leaves us in the league, though, is second place behind Puskás Akademia. Ferencváros at a further 4 points behind us after they've lost a game recently, but Puskás are in excellent form, as are we. They've actually scored more goals than us now. We've still got the joint best defence in the table, but Puskás are really finding the back of the net. So we're a point behind them. Every team's played 20 games. We're a little bit earlier than 2/3 of the way through the season, but I've come back because today's opponents are Puskás Academy. 22 would have been Ferencváros, and you don't want to see us face the same team over and over again. But all the top three have got 13 wins between them. If we compete Puskás today, then obviously we're in with a real shout of claiming the title this season. It's going to be difficult, though. The board and the supporters both expect a defeat in this game. We are away from home. In terms of the lineup that we're going to go with for today, though, it is going to be Faraha, the new man in goal. Just quickly want to show you the season preview. Fahara listed as the best goalkeeper in the league. We've narrowed our odds down to 34s. Predicted to finish 6th still, so there is still some work to do in terms of the squad. Morrow's up there and key players as well. Szanowski, so we've got two players who play in the same position listed as our two best players. So yeah, today Fahara, for Faraha making his debut. Toth is going to play as the right back. Polonkai comes in as centre half. Michevsky is suspended, as is Alex Roda, so we've had to make big changes at centre half. So it's going to be Polankai and Varga. Okichukwu continues at left back. In midfield, we've got Adebayo, who is slowly learning how to become a segundo volante. He's getting there. You can see he's also unhappy. That's because he's complaining about lack of first-team football. So he's in today. Harao is injured. Sidi Sumare is also injured. Now, Sidi Sumare is always injured. We look at this season. We were starting 2047. I think that one was before we got here, but he's had a major there. He's had a moderate. He's had a major. You know, he's missed a lot of football for us, basically. So Stoklosa comes in as the defensive midfield on defend. Siposh and Adebayo as the two volantes. Morrow is going to start today ahead of Szanowski on the left-hand side. Szanowski is actually going to start as the advance forward today, with Adrali, the top scorer, coming in on the right-hand side. We can name a full bench. We can. Adrali's going to go over to the right-hand side. Kolber's not been the greatest, although he is on a 7 with 5 goals and 4 assists, but it's just a little bit of squad rotation. You can see that we are resting the players. We've had a lot of games in a short space of time over the last, since we've come back from the winter break. But hopefully Faraha can do the job for us in goal, because Jadic's had a really, really good season for us with 10 clean sheets. Puskás going to be a difficult opponent, though. They are, like I say, predicted to finish second in the league. The board and the supporters both expect a defeat. Alves is the top scorer in the league, I believe. He's very, very good. 17 goals from 20 games, so keeping him out is going to be a little bit difficult. I believe we did beat Puskás earlier in the season, though, which does give me hope, but we are away from home today. And Puskás are on the attack straight away in the second minute. It's Campos with the ball. Tackled by Stoklosa, though, and now Szanowski picks it up. Morrow. Stoklosa again. What's he got ahead of him? He comes back to Morrow instead. Morrow with the ball forward towards Szanowski. Probably more fortunately than he expected to. It just looked like poor control there from Morrow. But the ball has ended up back with the Puskás goalkeeper. And Bong gets to it. But Polankai does come back and finds Faraha, who clears long, looking for Andrali. Can't win it. Boskovic wins it. Now Campos to Julia. Nikolov on the right-hand side, put under pressure, finds Hulia again, comes inside to Lamperth, Szyszanski's done really well to pinch the ball off and bearing down on goal. Szyszanski 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Can he score? He can't. He's put it wide. That was the opportunity for Szyszanski to give us the lead there. He did really well to pinch the ball back off the defender. Should have scored though. Should have scored. We probably needed that to go in. Right, Puskás coming forward with the corner. It's going to be Makareth to take it. It's an outswinger, left-footed towards that back post. Headed clear by Varga though. Alves picks it up. Campos back in. It's gone through the goalkeeper. It's gone through the goalkeeper. Oh, can I have Jagadic's back, please? It's not the best of corners. It's a good header clear by Varga. Alves does well to bring it down. Campos with the first time effort. The goalkeeper is flapped at it and it's gone straight through. Not great from the Norwegian there. Not great. And we do find ourselves behind. Ferencváros are also winning, which again is not great. But can we get back into it? We've gone long. They've won the ball though. Alves is tackled, but they've still come away with it. Alves has got the ball again. Finds Katai and Nikolov. But Morrow does well to get back to him. Can Morrow get us going up the other end? It comes to Varga. Varga goes long. It's just wasted. Given straight back to Boskovic. And now Campos and Lamperth. Boskovic again to Makareth. Looking to take the ball down the left-hand side. Takes it past his man far too easy in Draley. We do attempt a tackle there, but Alves has hit the crossbar for Puskás. We are under the cosh here in this first half. It's not been the greatest of performances so far from MTK. And as things stand, we are probably on our way to our second ever defeat as the manager of MTK. It's been all Puskás in that first half. We're going to have a shout at them. Szyszanski's the only one who can really hold his head up high, although he should have scored early on. Right, 20 minutes of the game remaining. It's been quite a quiet second half. I have made some changes. I've put Szyszanski back out on the left-hand side, Draley back up the top. I've brought Kolber on for Morrow. I've also brought Damazdi on in the midfield. But we're not making any impression on Puskás here, and they do have the corner. It's Lunic to take it towards that back post. And Attila Lamperth gets his second goal of the season to make it 2-0 to Puskás. And as things stand, we are going to be going at 4 points off the top of the table. We're going to have to start relying on Puskás to drop some points later on in the season. Ferencváros 2-0 up as well, so they've closed the gap to us to just the 1 point. Puskás going 4 points clear though is not ideal. We need to find our form again, basically. That's a disappointing defeat. Very disappointing defeat. I would have settled for a draw against Puskás, keep the gap to just the point. As it stands though, guys, it is 4 points behind the leaders now. In Puskás Academy, 1 point ahead of Ferencváros, the best team in the country, who have also picked up a win today. So we need to have a good remainder of the season. We need to get back to unbeaten ways, really. And we need Puskás to drop some points. They've now got a far superior goal difference to us as well, which is disappointing. It's disappointing. That is it for today, though, guys. Thank you very much for being here, as always. We're going to come back at the end of the season. Again, we've got some difficult games coming up, including Ferencváros away from home. We end the season with Puskás, so this game here could potentially be a title decider. Maybe we didn't beat them earlier on in the season. We drew 1-1. So that game there could potentially be a title decider, and maybe we'll be back for that one. Maybe we'll take on Puskás again, depending on how things are going in the league. But guys, thank you for being here. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button. It does help me out massively. Also, if you want to go and follow me over on Twitter, there's a link in the description. Take you straight there. Just give me a follow. I do tweet out when the episodes come out, stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that would be appreciated. But I'll see you all in the next episode. So cheers, guys. Catch you later.